The lecture is about fluid mechanics. In this video lecture, we are going to briefly discuss about flow characteristics and types of flow. First, we are going to discuss about fluid kinematics. It is a branch of fluid mechanics which deals with the study of velocity and acceleration of the particles of fluid in motion and their distribution in space without consideration of any forces. See, now consider a river. Here we are going to see only analysis. When we say fluid kinematics, when you are going to only analysis the flow of your water and what is the velocity of your water and acceleration of your water. We are not going to bother about what forces create your water to flow from one point to another point. We are going to only discuss about your velocity and acceleration and how they have been distribution in the space. Fluid motion. Fluid motion is describing the location of the fluid particle in space at different times, thus enabling determination of the magnitude and direction of velocity and acceleration in the flow field at any instant of time. See here, your water is being flowing from a pipe. See, when you are going to see what we are going to take a fluid particle and we are going to measure with respect to time and space, where we get your magnitude and direction. What direction your water starts to flow and what is the change in your direction. Each and everything is being measured with respect to time. Methods used to study about fluid motion. There are two methods used to study about your fluid motion. They are Lagrangian method and Eulerian method. First, we are going to discuss about Lagrangian method. In this method, the observer concentrates only movement of a single particle. Consider a pipeline. Here, the fluid is being flowing. See, over here, the observer will always have to move with the particle movement. He cannot be in stationary. The observer has to move with the particle for the study. Okay. Now, see, your P is your observer and I am going to study about this particle. So, I have to move towards this particle to study about this particle. This is your Lagrangian method. We have to move towards your particle to study about your particle movement. The path moved by your fluid particles and changes in velocity and acceleration and density are recorded. So here we are going to move with the particle and we are going to record your velocity, acceleration and density. Next we are going to see Eulerian method. In this method, the observer concentrates on a fixed point particle. See, consider a pipeline. Here we have your fluid flow. On your fluid flow, see, your P point is your observer, where your observer remains constant. Here in Eulerian method, the observer doesn't move with respect to particle. He remains stationary. That is, the observer remains stationary. The changes in velocity, acceleration and density are recorded at particular point only. A comparison between Lagrangian method and Eulerian method. First, here in Lagrangian method, the observer has to move with particle movement, whereas in Eulerian method, the observer remains stationary. Lagrangian method is a complex method, your Eulerian method is a simple method. Your last point, Lagrangian method, it will be difficult to understand the fluid motion, whereas in Eulerian method, it is being commonly used to understand the fluid motion. Next, we are going to discuss about types of flow line. There are three types of flow line, namely streak line, path line and stream line. First, we are going to discuss about streak line or filament line. The line or a curve that gives an instantaneous picture of the location of fluid particles which have passed through a given point is called as streak line. Example, the smoke coming out of chimney. Now see, this is the line where your smoke is being coming out of your chimney, whereas we have the tracing point. See, in these three lines, only one line have the traces of your smoke coming out. So this line is called as streak line. Another practical example for streak line is, in your olden days, we can see when a jet plane is being moved on your sky, we have a smoke traces at the path of your jet plane. That smoke traces is called as streak line, path line. The actual path followed by a fluid particle as it moves during a period of time is called as path line. See here, this is a fluid particle which travels on a straight line for a period of time. Next, the path shows the direction of velocity of the same particle at successive instant of time. See, your velocity, that is your fluid particle, does not follow a straight line at all the time. It can follow an irregular pattern and it can also intersect between your line. Okay, your next, the path line can intersect itself, so it can have an intersection point, and it is not mandatory it should be always a straight line. It can be a follow an irregular pattern also. Streamline, the imaginary line drawn in the fluid in such a way that the tangent to any point gives the direction of motion at that point, it is called a streamline. Make a note, your streamline is an imaginary line. This is your fluid flow line. Here we are going to draw a tangential line at a point which gives your direction of motion at that point only. It gives the direction of your motion with corresponding point where the tangent line has been drawn. Next, we are going to discuss about types of flow. First one, steady or unsteady flow. Next, uniform or non-uniform flow. Laminar and turbulent flow. Compressible and incompressible flow. Rotational and irrotational flow. 1, 2 and 3-dimensional flow. First, we are going to discuss about steady flow. When we say steady flow, the flow in which the fluid characteristics like velocity, pressure and density are constant and they do not change with respect to time, then the flow is steady flow. That is, your velocity is constant and your pressure is being constant and density is being constant. Then we can say the flow is steady flow. For an example, flow of water with constant discharge is a perfect example for steady flow. Next, we are going to discuss about unsteady flow, where the fluid characteristics like velocity, pressure and density will keep on varying with respect to time. Then the flow is known as unsteady flow. Here, since the flow has been unsteady, therefore dou V by dou T is not equal to 0, dou rho by dou T is not equal to 0 and dou P by dou T is not equal to 0. Example, flow of water with varying discharge is an example for unsteady flow. Next, we are going to discuss about uniform flow. The flow in which the velocity at a given time does not change with respect to space is called as uniform flow. Here, the velocity will be measured with respect to space, okay, where dou V by dou S is not equal to 0. Example, flow of water in a long pipe with uniform diameter is an example for uniform flow. Next, non-uniform flow. The flow in which velocity at a given time changes with respect to space is called as non-uniform flow. Dou V by dou S is not equal to 0. Here, your velocity will be changing with respect to space. Then the flow is called as non-uniform flow. Example, flow of water in a long pipe with varying diameter. Then the flow is non-uniform flow. Next, we are going to discuss about laminar flow. The flow in which the adjacent layer does not cross each other along a well-defined path is called as laminar flow. This is your pipeline. Here, see, this is your fluid layer which has been passing, and this is your second layer which has been passing over there. See, here, the fluid layer does not intersect its another adjacent layer. It moves on a well-defined path. When it moves on a well-defined path, then we can say the flow is laminar. Examples, flow of blood in veins and flow of oil in bearings are examples for laminar flow. Turbulent flow, the flow in which the adjacent layer cross each other, do not move along well-defined path is called as turbulent flow. This is your pipeline. Here we have a layer of your fluid. See, whereas the another layer starts to intersect your previous layer. Then the flow is called turbulent. It follows, see here, the fluid layer follows an zigzag pattern. It does not follow a straight line pattern. Then the flow is turbulent. Example, flow of your water in river and smoke from chimney is an example for turbulent flow. Compressible flow. The flow in where their density is not constant, then the fluid flow is called as compressible flow. Here, your rho is not a constant value. It will be keep on varying. Okay. For an example, your air is an compressible fluid which can be compressed. Okay. Some more examples are turbo machines and rocket engines are example for compressible flow. Next, incompressible flow. The flow in which where your density is constant, then the fluid flow is called as incompressible flow, where your rho will be equal to 0. See, your water is an fluid which is incompressible nature. When your water is being used as a fluid, then the flow is being incompressible flow. Some other examples are hydraulic machines and hydraulic circuits. Next, we are going to discuss about rotational flow. The flow in which the fluid particle will moving along a streamline and also rotate about their own axis is called as rotational flow. See, this is your streamline, okay, whereas your particle AB can rotate about your own axis with respect to your streamline. Then the flow is called as rotational flow. Irrotational flow. The flow in which the fluid particle will, while moving along a streamline, do not rotate about their own axis is called as irrotational flow. See, this is your streamline over here, whereas the particle, fluid particle AB cannot rotate about your axis with respect to streamline. Then the flow is called as irrotational flow. One-dimensional flow. The flow in which the velocity is a function of time and one space coordinate is called as one-dimensional flow. Consider an example over here. Here I am going to take only one coordinate into account, that is either it may be x or y or z. Here for your example, I have taken your x coordinate only. Therefore, your u is equal to f of x, whereas your velocity in your y direction and z direction I have not taken into account. Therefore, the velocity is 0. Next, we are going to discuss about two-dimensional flow. The flow in which the velocity function of time and two space coordinates is called as two-dimensional flow. In this example, I am going to consider two axes. Either it may be x, y or y, z or z, x. So, we can take two coordinates into account. Here, for your example, I have taken your x and y coordinate only. Therefore, your x-axis velocity u is a function of x, y and your y-axis velocity v is function of x, y, and whereas your velocity at your z direction is 0. In three-dimensional flow, the velocity is a function of time and all your three coordinates are taken into account. Therefore, we can say your u is equal to function of x, y, z. Similarly, your v will be a function of x, y, z and your w will be a function of x, y, z. Here, we are going to consider all your coordinates into account. Then the type of the flow is three-dimensional flow. Next, we are going to discuss about Reynolds number, where your Reynolds number is defined as the ratio between inertia force of the fluid to viscous force, where Re is equal to rho v d by mu, where your rho is your density of your fluid, v is your velocity of your fluid, and d is your diameter of your pipe, and mu is your dynamic viscosity of your fluid. Another formula is Vd divided by kinematic viscosity, where this is your kinematic viscosity. Your last topic, discharge or rate of the flow. The amount of fluid flow per unit second is called as discharge, where Q is equal to AV, where A is your area of your cross section and V is your velocity in meter per second. Thank you.